Hi you guys, I'm back. Okay, so I got all this checker meat ground up that I'm gonna grind up. Some of it went in the refrigerator and that's okay. I am good with that. So what I have here, this is probably, oh gosh, I'm gonna say at least 8 pounds of checker meat. I want a good tablespoon, level tablespoon of cracked black pepper down there. And I'm making an Italian sausage, so, and then I need some salt. I'm gonna do a tablespoon and maybe a tablespoon and a half of salt. Italian seasoning, you gotta have it. This smells so good. So I want 2, maybe 3 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. I want to make sure that these meatballs or whatever I make with it just really have a good Italian flavor. And then thyme is next on the list. And we're going to do, because thyme is my friend, a good tablespoon and a half of thyme. And garlic powder, I've got about a tablespoon in there. We'll put that in there and grab some more of it here in a second. I want some, half a tablespoon of marjoram. And we'll do, this is a big batch of meat, about a level tablespoon of red chili flakes. Need parsley, and this, I just took this off the dehydrator, so I want a good healthy handful, which probably dehydrated equals a full bundle. And then fennel seed. I love fennel. And we're gonna do, let's do it measurements. I'll measure it. A tablespoon of fennel. Fennel seeds, okay? If I had some fennel fronds, I would put those in there. Yeah. And then I've got extra virgin olive oil. That's gonna be my fat content for this because this checker meat doesn't have that much fat. And I'm going to mix this up by hand. Now you could do this in the KitchenAid with the dough hook or the paddle, but I'll do it by hand. And I think it'll be just fine. So I don't need another bowl to wash, pretty sure. And so we're just going to mix this right down. This checker meat was ground with the coarse blade, and what I like to do is let all the spices I'm going to fry up a piece right now. And, ooh, I'm going to sneeze. Okay, excuse me. Got that pepper up my nose. I'll fry up a piece right now so I can see where we're at with the spices after I get them all mixed in. And then I'm going to let this sit in the fridge overnight and see what we have tomorrow before I make them into meatballs and freeze them, bake them off and freeze them, or whatever I decide to do with them. But I think that's my plan, is I'm gonna bake them off tomorrow and freeze them up, or I can can them. But I don't know that I want to do that. We'll see. So you just want to make sure that everything gets really incorporated into this mixture. And then, oh, this is going to be amazing. And then we'll cook up a patty. Now, note that when I get ready to actually do the meatballs, I'll be adding breadcrumbs and eggs to bind this so they just don't all crumble apart because of lack of fat. I mean, we've got the olive oil in there and a little bit of the wild fat, but the rest of it, yeah, we want to make sure that put some breadcrumbs and some kind of binder in there. My glove is coming off. That's pretty funny. Okay, I think I got it mixed up pretty good. And I'll pull this back on, and I'm gonna put a patty down on the cast iron skillet, and we'll see how this tastes. Oh my goodness. Because I know it's gonna taste amazing. Okay, so now that we've let this meat set in all the spices and everything that we did last night, I'm gonna do meatballs. And so what I've got here is some slices of sourdough bread that I bought from the store for sandwiches. And the sourdough bread that I have that's homemade that I could use for breadcrumbs is actually got jalapenos in there, and I don't really want that necessarily. So I'm just cutting this into big cubes. This would make, oh, fabulous croutons. You know, when I buy sourdough or I buy bread of any sort in the store, I usually buy something that I can use for more than one application. And this is one of them. And I'm not going to use all of these. I'll probably put a lot of them in the food storage. So I'm going to fill my little bullet here. I usually do this in the food processor, but I think this will work just fine. We'll see. I haven't done it in the bullet or my Bella kitchen, as it were. So you can see you don't have to do anything fancy. You just get in there and get busy. Okay. Now I've got it in there, and I'm going to put it over there in the Bella kitchen and get it moving. See what we got. Okay. This thing is pretty loud, but it looks like it might work. Or maybe I got it too full. We'll see. Okay, well, I'm going to figure this out. After I do, I'm going to bring you back. But you can see it's starting to make breadcrumbs in there. Anyway. Let's see. Let's open this up and see what we got. Oh, yeah, nice. I just need a little more room in there. That's what I'm thinking. Doesn't need to be so packed, Linda. Okay, so I'll bring you back when all my breadcrumbs are all pulverized and we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, now we are back and I got my breadcrumbs done. I did all those breadcrumbs, of course they aren't all in here. One full dehydrating tray went on the dehydrator because these are nice and, it's from fresh bread. So it's okay to use it fresh in here, but if I just put it in some kind of container, it will mold. Eventually. I mean, you just don't, I don't want that. So I'm going to dry them out so I have some more dried breadcrumbs in my pantry. And now what I'm going to do, since I'm done using this for that, is I'm going to bust up some eggs in here. Ooh, pretty. Fresh eggs from the chickens. And I'm putting the eggshells on a piece of foil that I'm going to throw in the oven alongside these meatballs so that all the protein gets cooked. Any protein that's left in the shell gets cooked off. And then they're really easy to go ahead and crunch up for the chickens. And I feed them back. Look at that egg. That's a big one. Better save that for breakfast. So I'm doing 4 eggs in here. This is a lot of meat. So 4 eggs for my binder to keep the meat bound. And we're going to put that in the Bella kitchen because this is great for scrambling eggs quick. I already have this dirty. I might as well use it, right? Okay, so I just put these gorgeous fresh eggs in here and give it a whirl. Done deal. Isn't that amazing? Oh, we gotta love it. So now we can put this away. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure where the video cut off because apparently my SD card was full and I heard this little tiny beep 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 and I didn't really realize what it was. So I'm not sure what part of this whole episode you missed, but I did 4 eggs and beat those up in the Bella kitchen, and I put those in there. I did a 1.5 cups or 3 scooped handfuls of Parmesan, fresh grated Parmesan cheese, about a 1/2 cup of olive oil to make sure that that mixture stays really moist, and then I mixed it. So you didn't miss a huge amount. You might have missed some, I don't know, some babbling. Anyways, and we're going to have this, the first time, we're going to have it for meatball sandwiches. And what I like to do, because I like 2 across the bun, so to speak, I buy these buns that are about 2.5 inches wide. And so I like to be able to cut this in half. And so I really just need about the size of a golf ball. Honest and truly, about the size of a golf ball. Now I cooked some of this off last night into a patty just to make sure the flavor was right and everything was happy, and it was. And so I let those spices all marry overnight, and here we go. These are going to be wonderful with marinara and mozzarella melted on top. And I don't know who's going to eat it. My husband's gone again. He is on his last chukar hunting trip for the season, and he won't be back. He just left, so he won't be back till Sunday. And I kind of planned on him eating this, so I may have to make it and save it for someone at work tomorrow and bring it to them as a gift. So here, have a sandwich on me. So some of these are a little bit bigger. The other thing you can do with these, well, and what I plan to do with the majority of them, is you could, in fact, cook these off like I'm going to and freeze them. Put them back on a cookie sheet, and just like this, and put them in the freezer. Let them freeze, and then put them in a Ziploc or some kind of storage container, and then they'll be separated. They won't stick to each other. It won't be a big meatloaf. So you can freeze these. That's a great way to store them. You can, I've canned meatballs. You could can this in marinara sauce, and that would be wonderful also. You can put quite a few on this cookie sheet because they aren't going to spread out. They're not going to get big like a cookie. They're just going to sit there and get brown. You don't want them too close together where they actually start steaming, but there's not a whole lot of fat in these, so they shouldn't do that. So that's what I'm doing. And I think what I'm going to do is take my glove off, because I'm not a very fast meatball roller. I'm starting to figure it out. And I'm running out of things to tell you. So I hope this truly, somewhere along the line in this video, I hope it inspires you to, I don't know, step outside the box, make something new. Chukar meatballs, always delicious. You could do this with chicken. You could do this with beef and pork. You could do this with lamb. You could do this with lamb, beef, and pork. You could do this with turkey. I mean, I love ground turkey. Part of this mixture is actually going to go for a totally different application other than meatballs, I believe. And I'm going to keep it a secret because I want you to come back. Don't miss out on any of the upcoming videos because they're all going to be amazing. Okay, so now I'm going to, oh yeah, get this done. Okay, I'm going to pull this glove off so I can turn that camera off and keep on rolling. Put a new glove on and go for it. So actually, before I do that, how about you get a close-up of what these meatballs look like up close. Ooh, I don't know if that's good or not. But they look good. You can see the Parmesan in there and the fresh parsley and all the good stuff that's in there. So, anyway, okay, enough of that nonsense and dizziness, and I'll be back. Okay, now I'm ready to do the meatball sandwich. I'm so excited. So what I've done, I want to make sure this is a sourdough Sara Lee sandwich roll. And so I have hollowed it out a bit, and I toasted it a little bit in the oven while these were finishing. And these are still really hot. I probably should let them rest, but I can't wait. Now I'm hungry and I can't wait to have a meatball sandwich. Oh, it's gonna be so good. You can see how steamy those are. Okay, so the reason I hollowed it out is so it has somewhere to go. And I usually put side-by-side halves. And we're just gonna put them down here like that, like so. And then, oh, you're gonna love this. Okay, let's get rid of that and give you a visual of that goodness. This is so delicious. I can't even explain to you how wonderful this is. So then you have just you don't need anything more than a basic marinara. Okay, it's Italian, 100% Italian marinara, or make up your own, whatever you want to put down here. And then, because I don't want to break out a whole block of fresh mozzarella for this, even though I have that in the fridge. I'm going to take some string cheese mozzarella, and I'm just going to put this down right over the top. And we're going to then put this back under the broiler and melt that off. Oh, how beautiful is that? All right, so the end result is this beautiful sandwich. I'm just going to drizzle some extra virgin olive oil right across the top of that. Oh, close that down. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but there's some melty, delicious, good stuff going on. And I have to have a bite, because I was told by one of my subscribers that I respect very much, ooh, it's hot, that this is not only a visual thing, but we want to make sure that we see, we hear, we experience every bit of this food thing. And I have to say, I agree. That is a beautiful sandwich. It's very, very hot. I'm going to grab me a paper towel, because I might need some kind of bib here. I'm not sure. But I'm going to go in for a bite of that. Doesn't that look good? Check that out. Okay. It's just a pocket of delicious, cheesy, melty. Oh, I'm excited. I don't want to get burnt though. But here we go. Wow. Oh my gosh. You guys, this is so good. You have to do this. I don't care who you are and where you come from. If you don't make yourself a meatball sandwich here at Super Bowl, I don't know. Something's wrong. This is amazing. And actually very figure friendly because of the way I made them. You could make them with ground turkey. Oh, I have to have another bite. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I was not going to eat one. Oh my goodness. That is so delicious and very simple. So truly, YouTube, I hope this inspires you, because this was amazing. It was so easy to do. And you know, I think sometimes we forget and we get stagnant and we go, oh, well, I'll just go buy some meatballs. And that's okay too. I mean, you can do that, but we don't know what they put in them. I've read some of the ingredients list, and you know, 20 and 30% fat. I don't know. I'm so cautious anymore of what I try to put on my table. So I hope it inspires you to make something amazing and delicious for your family. Meatball sandwiches, who'd have thunk? And I hope you come back, subscribe, rate my videos, give me a thumbs up if you like this. And I don't know who wouldn't like a meatball sandwich. And you know what? Share this with your friends on Facebook, because everybody likes new ideas. And every time I share one of your videos on Facebook, they're telling me how much they love it. So that's how I see it. Anyway, I'll see you next time. God bless.